Deep in the Tang Mountains, in Zayuan village, there is an old Jujube tree that 3 people hug together. The tree is cracked with cracks half a foot wide, and the sweet Jujube nectar always seeps out of it. The children in the village love to circle the tree, but the grandson of the grandmother, Man, always hides behind the door to peek his parents went outside the mountain to change grain last year and never came back. In the autumn drought this year, the riverbed was exposed, and most of the leaves of the old Jujube tree were wilted. Grandma coughed and poured the last handful of millet into the pot, sighing, "If it doesn't rain, even this tree will wither." The little man couldn't sleep at night, so he quietly touched the tree and saw a girl in a Jujube cloth skirt sitting in the crack, dipping her fingertips in nectar and dripping it on the roots. "Who are you?" Man took half a step back in fright. The girl turned her head, her eyebrows as warm as ripe red dates. "I am the Jujube Ferry guarding this tree. Your parents are trapped by the black wind on the other side of the mountain. If you want to save them, you have to use the century-old Jujube core of this tree to make a boat." Saying that, she took out a Jujube core bigger than a fist from her sleeve, with fine lines engraved on the shell. But to pick the Jujube core, you have to climb to the highest branch of the old Jujube tree, which is so thin that it can sway in the wind. Man gritted his teeth and climbed up. His palms were rubbed with blood from the bark, and finally reached the Jujube core. Xian put the Jujube core into the river ditch and chanted a formula, and the Jujube core turned into a small boat that could seat 2 people. Man paddled out of the mountain with the boat, and sure enough, he saw his parents in the black trend, and they were shaking around a pile of dying fires. When the family of 3 came back from the boat, it suddenly rained in the sky. Xian stood under the old Jujube tree and smiled, and the red cloth skirt on her body gradually became transparent. "I have guarded this tree for 300 years, and finally waited for a child who is willing to take risks for others. Now I want to turn into rain and water this land." As the voice fell, she turned into a ball of red light and melted into the rain. Later, every autumn, the Jujube fruit of the old Jujube tree was sweeter than in previous years, and the villagers never suffered a drought when they were farming. Some people say that they have seen girls in red cloth skirts walking under the Jujube tree, always carrying a bamboo basket full of Jujube in their hands, and they handed it to the poor man when they met him.